the nice guys. All of us are probably once that guy.
Women will put you into 3 buckets when they are dating you. Depending on how they treat you, you can figure out which bucket you are in. Now, I'm going to be speaking from unhealed women. So don't come at me in my comments saying healed women wouldn't be attracted to this. I get it. But a majority of women are unhealed.
True.
So I'm giving you the majority of women and how they bucket you. Number 1 is the nice guy. The nice guy, when they say finishes last, they will always finish last with a toxic woman. And that's because women that are toxic need a toxic partner. They need this up and down. Nice guys don't do that. They're just the sweet souls that are walking this planet. So they'll go out with you 5 or 6 times and then at the end be like, he's such a nice guy. He just doesn't have what I'm looking for. That is toxicity, right? It's the zest part of it. So that's number 1.
Let me say this. I'm going to go through all 3, and I always like to link back to the content creator to give credit regardless of whether I agree or not.
True.
So that'll be down in the description. But let me say this, right? My father, my uncles, and I've had a lot of male influences in my life. 3 brothers, no sisters. What I've found in my lifetime by both observing other people and listening to what people say, like my father, never, ever, under any circumstance, find yourself as the nice guy from the lens of a woman. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be a nice person, that you shouldn't be a...
I always say it. Be a good person, but being a good person doesn't mean you have to be nice.
Good person, that you shouldn't be fruitful, that you shouldn't take care of business.
Always.
And take care of your kids and your family and do all of the things that you're supposed to do. But let's be very clear, because she's just breaking it down into the different categories. But I want to break it down much deeper than that so that you'll understand the context behind what a nice guy is and whatever it is else that she's about to say. Never, ever be the nice guy from the lens of a woman because she's just explained it to you. He's the guy that's going to end up in the phone as food. He's the guy that's going to get taken out to the back and thrown out in the trash. And
he's old
usually
pretty much.
The other part of it is the nice guy a lot of times, because she said never be the nice guy to toxic women. Here's the problem. A lot of times nice guys, because they're nice and they're doing the right thing and they look at the world from a glass half full perspective, they don't know that the woman is toxic until after she breaks him and they turn him basically into Bane. You know what I'm saying? They turn him into the Dark Knight. And I would love for, my biggest wish would be for nice people to be with nice people. But unfortunately, the nature of some people is to take advantage of nice people, both girls and guys. But we're speaking about guys in this instance. I would love for these people to just be with each other, but unfortunately, the world is a very cruel place and you will be destroyed from your core if you are that guy. Do not, and you need to truly understand the nature of women. A lot of women get mad at the whole idea of red pill. And it's funny because I was explaining this to a woman earlier today, and I said, all it is the truth. It's not permission for you to be negative. It's not permission for you to be toxic. It's not any of that. And so
I've never said that men could be all those things, right? I've always said it. It's just the truth. How men wield this truth, that's on them.
People that then take it and translate it into something else, that's just, they give a lot of things a bad name. Red pill is just knowing the reality of what you're getting yourself into and the truth. That's all it is. It's pulling back the layers and seeing the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain instead of down the yellow brick road. And I implore you guys, with everything in my body, with every fiber in my being, you will never, ever, ever, you will regret it. You will live to the day you die and regret ever being a nice guy, because you will get taken advantage of, you will die, and then they will go on and move on with their life and take your insurance money and get with the person that they wasn't supposed to be with in the first place, all right? So
there's some harsh truths from Anton, but I think it's a very necessary truth to hear.
Don't be taken advantage of. Don't be finessed. Don't be the nice guy unless you get with a girl that 1,000% has been untouched. You've known her since high school. Only person that she's ever been with. Good person, raised in church, and is not going to be a city girl, and you can't even predict that. The nice guy will always finish last. Or this is the the better scenario for him. He will be the person that she comes to after she's done with them, after she's had her whole phase, after she's slutted it out, after she's been abused, misused by a bunch of other guys. And then when she's looking
Now she's gonna come and abuse and misuse your resources.
for somebody to take care of her kids, she's saying, why wouldn't you look at me as a package deal because I've raised my standards? Don't be that guy.
You do, and let me say this, you do not change for anybody. You don't change for anybody. You stay the nice guy.
Nope.
Number 2 is the player.
Don't listen to her on that front. You are absolutely to change and evolve. Okay? I just want to say that.
Always.
Number 2 is the player. Women know that they are dating a player, and players can really reel women in very quickly because they're doing all the things that the other two groups aren't doing. And that's like all the extra stuff. So women fall in love with that, even though they don't want to connect with them because they know that it's going to be a bad time and they're probably seeing other people and it's not going to be a commitment thing.
But it's too fun.
They'll still date them. So they'll have the best time, they'll laugh, they'll get all the gifts, they'll do all the things and go to nice restaurants, and they'll have that like zesty, like back and forth connection. And then that usually falls flat.
Yep.
You know why.
I'm not a fan of guys that try to be players. All right, that's not a fruitful situation.
I agree.
Usually, people that are tryhards, they lose on something else. So you'll lose all of the energy in your life force from actually pouring into yourself, from investing into yourself, spending the majority of your time building up your own portfolio and focusing. I'm a huge advocate for you just being a good person and focusing on generally being a good person to society while building yourself up.
Me and Anton aren't far off from each other, right? I always say be a good person and be of value to society and the people around you. And it's not too far off from what he says and how he views the world.
In those instances, most instances, you'll meet the people that you're supposed to be around.
Correct.
And you might even meet your wife if you're interested in having that type of relationship. But it's going to come organic. It's not going to come from a space where you're on an app or you on Instagram shooting DMs, offering to fly chicks out. That's not the play. You know what I'm saying? That's been played out. It was never in my opinion, as far as trying to talk to people via DM or through applications. I just think that people should just live their life. And when they say player, the reason why I'm not a fan of a player is because I think that gives the false expectation of a relationship with a woman. And I think that people should just be transparent enough.
I can now. I see what he's saying. I didn't think that was what a player is. I thought a player was just someone that just kind of like a womanizer, just sleeps with a lot of women. I didn't realize that it was like a connection to trickery or something.
Honest, and it's not like they not going anyway. I don't think that that's being a player. I just believe that you just want to remain single when you're not interested in being in a long-term relationship. That's much different than being a player. But the fact that a woman, right, the real thing that we should take from this is the fact that a woman is willing to deal with this type of guy and still enjoy him and give him everything that she wasn't given to the nice guy is the real takeaway from this conversation. And so I'm not a fan of being a quote unquote player. I just think that you need to be authentically you.
Yes.
Evolve based off of the situation that you're in. And if you're not interested in being in a long-term relationship, then state that up front. But if you are, then don't try to be a player. You know what I'm saying? Just give people options.
I 100% agree with Anton. I did always hate the whole player thing because of the trickery. But I also just thought of like fuckboys as that. I just thought a player was just someone that just is smooth with women. Is able to bed women easy. I thought that's what a player was.
Stop misleading people to think something differently than what you present. And so that's my biggest takeaway from that situation.
Number 3 is the man that catches the attention of a woman, which has the nice guy and player energy combo. So they have the confidence, they do all the little zesty things, and they're like, this is who I want to be with. They're a nice guy, but just a little bit like more pumped up.
Toxicity?
Doing the little extra special things. So they have a tiny bit of toxicity and they have a little bit of like confidence, and they'll just put the woman in their place when they have to. And women are very drawn to that. So that's like, I'm going to marry you. You have all the qualities and you still make me like work for it in some way, shape, or form. So I'm very drawn to you. Those are the 3 buckets.
Yeah, I think it's more buckets than that. It's a whole lot more buckets than that.
No, I think she hit the three main ones that kind of like those buckets. I think break into other buckets, but those are probably the three buckets that originally get sorted out.
But I guess it really doesn't matter. I think that the biggest thing is, I was looking at a report, and I'm actually going to do a completely separate video, maybe on the Millionaire Morning Show. Make sure y'all tap into the Millionaire Morning Show. And it was saying that so many tens of thousands of people, Japanese people, died through loneliness. And I think that humans are looking for companionship, but they don't like the options that they see out there.
True.
And I think the biggest way to find a person that you're interested in is to become that. Become the thing that you're looking to attract. Become a
Correct.
better person. Focus on yourself. When we talk about companionship, a lot of times we don't talk about first healing within ourselves before we start to make ourselves available to everybody else. And so, it's not about doing people dirty. It's not about doing people wrong. I think it's just living your life the best way that you know how, while at the same time enjoying the companies of others. And then if you find a person that is you think is somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with, then make that commitment and stop being on the fence, going back and forth and leading people on, to think something that's different than what it really is. And that's really the core root of what it takes to be a great person in a great relationship.
No, I would 100% agree with Anton on that one. Yeah, just be truthful. Be upfront with what it is. If you want to be polygamous or whatever, sleep with a whole bunch of women, let women know. And if they're okay with it, they're okay with it. If you want long-term relationship, you want marriage, probably not the marriage part, but at least kids and a legacy, let them know. Just be truthful. But be authentic in yourself and grow into the person you want to be. Don't pretend always. You can pretend in the beginning because, sometimes you have to fake it until you make it. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And catch you guys next time. Ciao.